asked you about, but better?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so I'm usually on the other side of the podium as a bookseller here at Barnes & Noble. So this experience of talking to you today as an author-editor is quite surreal for me. Many of you have helped me along the road to my publication. Besides my friends and family who offered continued encouragement and support, I would like to thank the Jane Austen Society of North America Puget Sound Chapter, KCTS 9, the Seattle home of PBS, and my Masterpiece Classic PBS friends many miles away in Boston who could not make it here today. I'm also very grateful to the management and staff of the Alderwood Barnes & Noble for not only hosting my book launch and Regency party, but for supplying a nurturing environment as a bookseller while I worked on my book over the past 2 years. I am sure that you really didn't want to know that much about Jane Austen, but thanks for putting up with my obsession anyway. My sincere thanks to you all, and to all those who helped me take the road less traveled. You made all the difference. I think that English author Jane Austen, who lived over 200 years ago during the Georgian and Regency eras, would be delighted in our celebration here in her honor. We know from her personal correspondence that she was an avid fiction reader, consumed tea and scones religiously, and was very fond of dancing and excelled in it. She only published 4 major novels in her lifetime: Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, followed by 2 posthumously, Northanger Abbey, and Persuasion. She died quite young in 1817 at the age of 41, but what an indelible mark she has left on literature. For 2 centuries, Jane Austen has been inspiring writers, many of which now form the Austen-esque subgenre so popular today. For those of you who greatly admire Austen and the unique world that she created, there are now hundreds of books containing her stories, characters, and outlook on life and love, written by creative and talented authors. This short story anthology contains 22 contributions, exclusively commissioned from popular and best-selling authors who have excelled in fiction inspired by Austen, or other genres who greatly admire her talent. Each will readily admit, Jane Austen made me do it. The story of how my book came to be is not your typical debut author's tale of woe from years of rejection and rewrites. It came together in a completely unexpected way. One of those amazing moments in our lives when all of our planets and stars have aligned and magic happens. I've been obsessed with Jane Austen almost all of my life. In 2007, I started Austen Prose, an internet blog devoted to my favorite author and the many movies and books that she has inspired. While working with authors to help promote their books, I began to see a thread connecting my passion for Austen with all of the novels that she had influenced. I asked myself, why couldn't I be an editor of an Austen-inspired anthology? I could ask my favorite authors to contribute. I thought it was a great idea. I just didn't know if anyone else would be interested in reading it, or more importantly, how to get it published. One hears horror stories about the long road to publication, so I reached out to a few authors that I had worked with in the past and asked for their advice. Before I could write up a book proposal, I was contacted by a literary agent thanking me for my recent promotion of his client's book. I thought about it for about 10 seconds. Then I seized the opportunity at once. Like David facing Goliath, I called this very important and highly prestigious New York literary agent and pitched my anthology to him. He loved it. So did Random House. I had a book deal within a week and 20 authors lined up for the project within a month. It took about 2 years of hard work to bring the book together, and I am very pleased with the result. From historical to contemporary to fantastical, each of the stories in Jane Austen Made Me Do It reaffirms Austen's lasting influence and incomparable legacy. Now I'm going to read an excerpt for you today. One of the really exciting things that I got to work on with the anthology were the 24 authors, one of which was a winner of our grand prize short story contest. She was a complete unknown, has never been published, and that was the prerequisites to be an entrant in the contest. And from the moment I read her story, I knew it was a winner. It was fabulous. It made me cry. So I'm going to read you just the first opening few pages, and I think you'll get a flavor of the story. The Love Letter, grand prize winner of the Jane Austen Make Do It short story contest, by Brenna Aubrey. I never expected to pull a mystery out of a self-addressed stamped envelope. One yellow page removed from a novel. In my hand, it flapped in the sudden breeze and rose up that November morning. One page, torn from a book, something I'd never read before.